Some legends are just stories. This one leaves bodies. There is a town so drenched in death that even the fog that rolls through its streets feels alive. A place where children stopped playing outside decades ago, where the elderly lock their doors before sunset and don't open them until the sun is fully up. A place where everyone knows one rule: do not scream. Tonight, we go to Ravens Fair. And I promise you, by the time this is over, you'll be afraid of silence. Jamie Ashen has a good life. A loving wife named Lisa, a clean apartment, a future. It ends tonight. A package arrives. No name, no return address. Just sitting there, like it had been, waiting for the right moment to be found. Inside, a ventriloquist dummy, pale as a corpse, eyes like two pieces of glass that somehow feel like they're looking back at you. Jamie doesn't know what to make of it, so he does what anyone would do. He leaves to get food. He leaves Lisa alone, with the dummy. And this is where the film makes its first promise to you. Nothing happens fast. No dramatic music, no sudden movement, just silence, creeping, spreading through every corner of that apartment like a gas leak you can't smell until it's already too late. When Jamie comes back, Lisa is dead. Not just dead, destroyed. Her tongue has been ripped from her mouth. There are no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, no witnesses, no explanation, just the dummy, sitting exactly where they left it, watching. That changes everything. Detective Lipton arrives. He looks at the evidence, then he looks at Jamie. And from that moment on, he never stops watching him. Because something about Jamie feels off, cold, disconnected. What Lipton doesn't understand yet is that Jamie isn't cold because he killed his wife. He's cold because he's terrified. Because the dummy has a name tag. 2 words that drain the colour from Jamie's face the moment he reads them. Mary Shaw. He doesn't call a lawyer, he doesn't cooperate with the police. He gets in his car and drives back to the town his family ran from years ago. Back to the place nobody talks about. Back to the rotting, fog-choked nightmare called Ravens Fair. And the moment you see this town, really see it, you understand something. People didn't leave Ravens Fair because the economy dried up. They didn't leave because there was nothing to do. They left because something in this town hunts. Every child raised in Ravens Fair grows up knowing her name. It's not taught, it's absorbed. Whispered between kids on playgrounds that are now empty. Scratched into the wood of old desks in schools that no longer have students. It goes like this. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. She had no children, only dolls, and if you see her in your dreams, be sure you never ever scream. Mary Shaw was a ventriloquist, not just talented, unnaturally talented. She performed with over 1 handcrafted dolls, each one built to look almost human. She could throw her voice across an entire theatre with impossible precision. Audiences were obsessed with her. But obsession always curdles. During one performance, a boy named Michael Ashen stood up in the audience and said 4 words that sealed the fate of an entire family. I can see you. He could see her lips moving. She was exposed, humiliated, destroyed. Michael Ashen disappeared shortly after. And then Ravens Fair did what frightened people always do. They found Mary Shaw, they held her down, and they tore out her tongue. They killed her. They buried her alongside all 101 of her dolls, thinking that was the end, thinking dead meant gone. But before she died, she made them a promise. She would come back, not as a ghost, not as a memory, as the ultimate dummy. And she would silence every last Ashen who ever drew breath. They should have burned the dolls, though. The haunting closes in, the deaths begin. The mortician who examined Lisa's body, found dead, tongue missing. The elderly theatre owner who knew Mary Shaw's real history, dead, tongue gone. Every person who carries even a fragment of the truth gets silenced. Before they can pass it on, Mary Shaw isn't haunting Ravens Fair. She's maintaining it. Jamie moves through the decaying ruins of her old theatre and finds them. The dolls, hidden inside walls, stuffed beneath floorboards, seated in the dark corners of rooms like an audience waiting for a show that never ended. And here is where the film whispers its cruelest secret to you. There is one rule. For surviving Mary Shaw, one rule. That's all. Do not scream. She doesn't chase. She doesn't run. She simply appears. In the space between one heartbeat and the next. In the half second, your eyes need to adjust to the dark. In the moment, a room goes from uncomfortable to catastrophically wrong. And when the fear becomes too much, when your body betrays you and forces that sound up through your throat, she takes everything. Jamie starts burning them, one by one. The dolls will destroy her, but every doll he burns feels less like progress, and more like a warning, because he still hasn't found the last one, her masterpiece. The one she was most proud of, the one nobody ever found. Until now, Jamie's father, Edward, sits in his deteriorating mansion like a king whose kingdom rotted beneath him. He's cold, dismissive. He tells Jamie to leave Ravensfair and never come back. But there's something else in his eyes. Not anger. Terror. His young wife, Ella, moves through the house quietly. Barely speaks. Smiles at just the wrong moments. Stands in doorways a half second longer than feels natural. The film wants you to find her strange. It wants you to feel that low-grade wrongness every time she appears on screen. It wants you to almost figure it out before it detonates. Because Ella is not a person. She never was. She is Mary Shaw's masterpiece. A human body, hollowed out and worn like a costume, Mary Shaw had transcended death itself. She didn't need a wooden dummy anymore. She had perfected her craft into something biological, something that breathes, blinks and smiles, and hides a century-old vengeance behind human eyes. She had been living inside that house, beside Edward Ashen, for years. And Edward, broken, trapped, consumed by guilt, had known the entire time. He chose silence, because the alternative was losing his tongue. And now his son is standing in the same room. Everything crashes down at once. Lisa, the dummy, the dolls, the bodies, the legend, his father's hollow eyes, Ella's impossible stillness. It was never about solving a mystery. Mary Shaw was never running from Jamie. She was leading him here. And Jamie Ashen, who survived everything, who burned the dolls, who got closer to the truth than anyone ever had, screams. The camera holds, and then Jamie turns around. His face is pale, his expression is frozen, his eyes are glass. Mary Shaw didn't kill him. She wore him. He is her final dummy, her greatest performance. The last Ashen, silencing not with death, but with something so much worse. He's still there, still breathing, still smiling. Forever. Dead silence doesn't scare you with blood. It doesn't need to. It scares you with the thing we all fear most. The moment you realize the danger was never behind you. It was standing right beside you in your home, wearing a human face, waiting for you to make one sound. Mary Shaw always wins. She's patient, she's perfect, and she never stops performing. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. If this kept you up, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments.